the karmic consequences for abusing spiritual principles. Spiritual principles, right? What is spirituality, right? Spirituality is breath. Spirituality is breathing. Spirituality is language. Spirituality is the ability to use language. Spirituality is the ability to conceptualize the world through language. Spirituality is giving testimony through breath, through language. Spirituality is speaking. Spirituality is breathing. Spirituality is using language. Okay? Abusing spiritual principles. Right? What is a principle? Okay? First thing is first, right? It is the things that are true about any given circumstance or characteristic or situation. There are laws about the physical world and the spiritual world. There are laws. There are a systematic pattern of causes and reactions. And the properties of causes and reactions that are always true are principle. There are the things which are always true, will always be true, right? That's what I'm saying when I say principle. Spiritual principles, right? So, spiritual principles. The manner in which spirituality presents itself in a given person has certain qualities to it that are fundamentally true all of the time in that circumstance of expression. Abusing spiritual principles. When you have an understanding of something and that understanding is true, that is a true spirituality of that thing. Like intelligibility, perceptibility, the ability to reach the truth of a matter. It is the spirit moving through us, moving through matter. Those things which are always true are spiritual principles. The things that are true in the material world have spiritual undercurrents within them that we are perceptible to. In regards to one's conscience, your level of receptivity to the understanding of what is in terms of your own language and your own faculties, your ability to give testimony to that is spiritual integrity with spiritual principles. You have a conscience, you have a way of using language and spirit and breath to give testimony about reality and truth. Your conscience is aware of this. Every time you go against your conscience and you give incorrect testimony or act outside of your actual spiritual conviction, you create consequence in your karma. Okay? There are circumstances you may find yourself in that you have an understanding about. And if your understanding is correct and it is true, and you go against what your moral conscience tells you to do, you are abusing spiritual principle. You are creating consequence in your life. It is creating consequence in this world, or if it doesn't manifest in this world, it will manifest in another world. I use the term karma in regard to cause and effect and reaction. The circumstances in our lives, they have an effect on us, and we have a responsibility to repose and adapt and react to those circumstances. And if we do so without a good sense of morality or a good understanding of morality or how we ought to be, it creates physically the potential for the lack of understanding to present itself in such a way that it will produce the understanding that would have been necessary to avoid creating the karmic consequence. So, abusing the consequences of abusing spiritual principles.